Rethink Tasks, AKA your to-do list. True story. I collaborated with a teacher one year. If she really wanted me to not forget something or get something done or call a parent or follow up with this or that or make copy, whatever we had to do, help grade, she would grab a sticky note and put it on my coffee cup. Because she knew I wouldn't forget my coffee cup. It went with me everywhere, all day. So all she had to do was clip it on there. Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. I'll go make some copies or I'll call that parent. All good, right? But it was a system, it worked. It was consistent. She knew it, I knew it, it worked, right? We're moving a long way away from sticky notes on the coffee cups. And some people these days have notebooks or bullet journals, or you may have like an agenda or a calendar that you put out tasks and you have dates, which is moving up the ladder a little bit, right? You may use color coding with your pens because this is for one class or this is for my after school practice or club. I highly suggest and recommend that it's time to step it up another notch and go digital. With all of our Google Docs and remote learning and COVID and everything, we've all started to learn how to do more digital. Most of us have a smartphone in our pocket and have explored the calendar features in there, maybe not a to-do list, but I think it's time. There's a lot of advantages as far as reshuffling tasks, changing dates, organizing them into projects. You can tag different tasks as like emails or different classes. You can color code. It's a lot easier to work with once you get the hang of it. And the task managers I recommend are ones that you can use anywhere, anytime. Doesn't matter the device, doesn't matter where you are, as long as you have a connection. They'll work offline until you get a connection. So there's just not really many downsides, except for the small learning curve, just to get used to it, right? To just make sure you use and maintain that system. So if that's not for you yet and you're still a paper pencil person, let's go, let's do it. We can still do this system and rethink the way we do our tasks. I'm gonna show you Google Tasks. I personally use Todoist, which has some advanced features. So if you're curious with that, check out the other video of how I Todoist. It just gives you kind of an overview of how I do things and how I set up my Todoist that works for me. But we really need to focus on rethinking our tasks and our to-do list. And like email, not have it be this big behemoth that is weighing us down, because we're always gonna have tasks and things to do, but to use it to organize, take control of our tasks, schedule them out, and check them off and be done and move forward. So it's actually something that a sense of accomplishment, achievement, it's a positive thing. So that's how we need to rethink our tasks or our to-do list. All right, so we are going to add a task to Google Tasks from Google Calendar or Google Docs. On the right-hand sidebar, click Tasks, click Add a Task, and start typing. When I am done typing and I have some tasks here, when I get one done, I just click the circle and check it off. All right, let's look at some of these advanced features of tasks, which are really awesome. All right, so if you may have noticed when you add a task, or if I just click on one right here, I have details, date and time, and then another logo, right? Details is just adding more text, right? So these are the outline maps. Or enter these into PowerSchool. These are the map projects. Okay, so I'm just adding some extra information into it so I can be very concise with my actual task, and then this is just added information. Pretty simple, right? Date and time, that's pretty self-explanatory too, but this part is gonna blow your mind. I'm going to go over to July 5th for a minute. And time, I wait until I plan the week before to add my times. Click OK. Guess what? Boom, it shows up over here on Google Calendar. This is amazing ability to manage your projects. Because if I start putting more of these on the calendar over here, once I start getting tasks here, then I can change the date here like you just saw me, or I can just drag and drop and just move them. Or if I'm working in my calendar and and I want to edit this a little bit, I can get this edit feature right here, okay? So now I can manage my tasks in Google Calendar or in a little sidebar for tasks. So whatever's easiest, whatever you have open, whatever you're using. So adding notes and adding dates are amazing, quick, extra little features that are going to save you a lot of time in the long run. And then the last feature that pops up here is these little arrows, and that's to repeat. So sometimes you have a task that you're going to do every whatever. So I'm going to not make copies of maps, but maybe your grades. Maybe it's just a general task. And then I'm going to repeat that, and I'm going to do it every week on Friday. That's the start date. And you can do a time if you want, and then just click OK. And then once you do that, it'll show up here, Friday the 8th. But if I go to the next week, it'll show up the 15th. It'll show up the 22nd, right? And so you can still check it off the first week and mark it as complete, and it'll cross it off there, right? But it's still going to show up for you here. So it's an awesome way to just do some reoccurring tasks that you want to have there. You want the satisfaction of checking it off. Those are 3 advanced features of Google Tasks. All right, here's another time saver for you. So as we're talking about adding notes and date, there's a note here and a date to our tasks. In the notes section, you can also add a link. Let's run through the scenario. I'm in my Schoology course. I just add this assignment, right? So students haven't done it yet. I'm just adding this assignment. But I know it's going to be due a certain time. And then I know I'm going to have planning in the next day or two, and I'm going to want to grade it. So I can already automatically plan ahead and add this assignment to Schoology. Then come to my tasks, grade. I'm just going to change that to grade assignment. And then for the details here, instead of just writing like Schoology assignment, I'm going to go back to Schoology. I'm going to click on the assignment. I'm going to copy the URL up here at the top. Come back to my tasks and paste. And check that out. So now, when I have the grade assignment here on the 6th and I open it up, I can just click on this link and it takes me right to that assignment and I can start grading. Time saver, stress relief, everything all in one place. So the next features I want to talk about are a little bit more to do with organization. So as you can see over here, I have a task called make copies of maps. And then I have some subtasks. They're indented a little bit. So that's one way that you can organize your projects, or by just kind of nesting some tasks within a task. It's indented a little bit, it's okay, but you can do that. You just click on your task name, 3 little dots, add a subtask, right? So you can play around with some things there if you want to. But if we come up to the top, we have a few other things we can do. We can create multiple lists. So this is just my to-do list. I'm just starting out, to-do list, check it off, add it to the calendar, my mind's blown. This is gonna change my life. But now I want some more organization where I wanna keep track of my USVA versus my World 2 tasks, or my Algebra 1 versus my Geometry tasks, or my academic tasks versus my club responsibilities, or something like that. So I wanna add more lists, which I can do right up here. Okay, so if I click on tasks, I can create a new list. So now if I click this drop down, I have tasks, which are just my generals. And then if I have something specific for World 2, you could do that. You just have to remember in this view to toggle, right? So you don't miss something. If you use this system, due dates are incredibly important because then they pop up here, right? And you don't kind of lose track of something that's buried underneath. On the mobile app, it looks really, really good because they're not buried. Your lists aren't buried on the mobile app. You can see them across the top of the app. And so you can just toggle a lot easier on the mobile app. So that might be, if you do want to use these multiple lists, you maybe want to be somebody who uses the mobile app. Furthermore, if we click on this little 3 dots up here at the top, we can change the sort order. So right now it's my order, so I could actually drag and drop these if I just click on them, left click, and I can move them, which is really handy because I may want to prioritize this way and then just work top down. If I do a lot of due dates and I want to use the calendar and have the due date function, I may want to come up here and sort by date. And then it pops everything into a date for me. And so I can prioritize by date. I can't now drag and drop though. I lose that ability of moving it around, but it's more date driven, and the most important is at the top, and I can still use my calendar to help prioritize. So just a couple other organizational features that you may want to explore.
All right, so here is our Tasks mobile app, which I think is really, really good. It's simple, it's clean, it's easy to use. So notice at the top, I have multiple lists here from going through these previous videos, and it's really handy in the task view, right? So I can just toggle really quick. I feel like I'm not gonna miss anything because I see those lists up there. I know I need to tap real quick to scroll through. So I find that incredibly, incredibly handy, right? We can see our due dates and we can easily change them if we need to. I can click on a task and add notes if I need to. It's really easy. If I could spell. I can add a subtask. And all of this information, I can switch lists right here. Mark as complete, but I don't do that because if you want to mark it as complete, you just tap the circle and it goes away. And it's really easy, right? The sorting feature is down here below. Sort by instead of my order. Maybe we want to sort by the date if we like to sync it with the calendar. There's other ways to switch through the lists here, but now that they have it on top, that's not necessary. If I want to add a new task, I just click the plus button. Right, and then I can go into my notes and the due date. I can repeat it if I want. Save. Right? So it becomes pretty simple to navigate this tasks list from the mobile app.
So you have a lot of options for task managers. Paper, pencil, your notebook, your bullet journal. That works out great if it's a system that you use. If you want to go digital for some more flexibility in Google Calendar integration, I highly recommend starting with Google Tasks if you haven't used anything before, because it's free, easy to use, you can access it anywhere. The mobile app is great and the calendar integration is outstanding. If you want to try something with a little bit more advanced features, my next recommendation is Todoist. I've been using it for years. I've left it to try other new cool things. I've always come back to it. Maybe it's because that's just what I started with, or maybe because it's one of the best. If you're looking for some more advanced features besides Google Tasks, I would suggest Todoist. You can still integrate with Google Calendar, which is a must for me. So I can look on the mobile app, I can look on Todoist.com, and I can also look for the tasks on my calendar. So kind of anywhere I'm at, I can access my tasks or to-do lists. The other one that is highly recommended is TickTick. And I tried it, and it had some really cool features. I liked it. I didn't find it better than Todoist, but it was a good one. So if you've read about it or you found it or a friend says use it, like, it is good. It's got a lot of advanced features, pretty simple to use. All of these, there will be a little bit of a learning curve, but not much. And once you get it, you'll be off with flying colors. The last one to recommend is Microsoft To Do, because we already have it. We have Outlook for our email, and so To Do just comes with it. So it's another free option that you may be a Microsoft person and like Microsoft products. You can find it on our email way over here to the left-hand side, this check mark, that will actually open up To Do. I tried it a little bit. It just didn't have the greatest features like to beat out Todoist. And then if it was a little more complicated than like Google Tasks. So I just didn't see where it fit. My recommendations again, start out with Google Tasks. If you need to step up a notch, try Todoist. See what works for you.